Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Peter Barber. I'm primarily a professional opera singer, music producer, bass vocalist, and host of the podcast Vocal Arts with Peter Barber. Today we're going to be checking out, actually it's been a while, the Wish Bus is one of my favorite places to analyze voices because it's live and the singers are sitting down and it's a difficult environment to sing well, yet these singers all blow me away when they do it. And this is Morissette performing Gusto Ko ng Bumitaw. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Bumitaw. Gusto ko ng Bumitaw. Not sure. Leave a comment below. So we're going to check out her singing this, guys. This is a reaction and analysis, so I will be pausing primarily to talk about vocal technique, as that is where my expertise lies. And if you are gaining value and enjoying these singers and artists and music more because of my analysis and commentary, please do consider joining my Patreon. It's the best way to support me. Links in the description below. Otherwise, please do subscribe. Definitely subscribe. A lot of you people aren't subscribed, even though you watch my videos all the time. So definitely subscribe. That's super helpful. Leave a comment for the algorithm. And without further ado, let's dive in. Yep.
Wish 107.5.
Umiiyak gabi-gabi, walang tinig na naririnig, nakikipaglab sa tikman, natalunan, hanggang kailan, talo na, pagod na. Akala ko'y kaysa akin pa pero hindi na pala.
So she's keeping the what are we doing here, subtitles? It's definitely not, okay, I thought I was going to auto-generate English, but it's not. It said foreign, so thanks. That's great, YouTube subtitles. Bravo. Starting off very, very light in her voice. Now we know that Morissette has a lot of power and range in her upper chest range, when she really stretches out the whole mass of her vocal folds and really gets a lot of power behind it. And she has incredible accuracy with her voice. She's very well on pitch all the time, and just a ton of control. And that's one of the things that's so amazing, especially when singing with headphones on while sitting down. This is not ideal for a singer. It's not ideal at all. You can't hear yourself as well. Unless she's, looped back into her headphones, which is possible, but sitting down, it's tougher to lock in your breath support system. So huge, and singing in tune is one of the things that suffers most from breath support. So to sing in tune really well while sitting down, very impressive. Always very impressed by her. She's starting this out very light, very breathy, very intimate. I'm sure the text is reflective of that, but alas, my subtitles have failed me. So you all can let me know below what she's singing about.
107.5.
Umiiyak gabi-gabi.
Okay, there we are. So C sharp 4 to B flat 4, and all just kept in a very, very light mechanism, not taking any weight in her voice up there.
107.5.
Umiiyak gabi-gabi, walang tinig na naririnig.
It's almost whispering. There's just barely any phonation happening. The difference between a whisper, and a whisper is that the whisper has no tone. You can still tell the words because it's actually the tongue position mostly that shapes the sounds, the actual syllables we hear. The tongue does almost all the work. So even when there's no actual pitch being produced, like when you're singing, if you're just whispering, you can still understand text. But she's almost whispering here. There's barely any actual tone coming through in some of these especially intimate, soft singing moments.
Nakikipaglaban sa tikman, natalunan, hanggang kailan, talo na, pagod na. Akala ko'y kaysa akin pa pero hindi na pala.
And also to close the loop on that, a breathy tone really means that there's more air escaping through the vocal folds during each oscillation. The vocal folds kind of move like this naturally, and the more time they're closed during those movements is called the closed quotient. And a breathy tone means there's low closed quotient, meaning the vocal folds are actually closed for a lower percentage of time. High closed quotient is the opposite. That's when you get the really powerful high chest belting. It means almost there's like no extra air escaping, and this results in a very bright, powerful, efficient tone as well.
Wala na nga ba talaga? Lalakalag sa kadiliman, naliligaw, nalilito. Ano nga ba ako sa'yo? Sino nga ba ako sa'yo?
So this is still relatively light singing, especially for Morissette, but you can tell there is already a lot more intensity than the first verse. So there's more vocal fold closure, which means there's more power. Now, power and volume is something you can't tell. You can't actually get a good read on it in this kind of setting because all the sound is very compressed. So the really soft, intimate singing sounds the same volume as the really high belting. But true volume, you can generally tell what would be louder than something else based on the quality of tone if you know what to listen for. And vocal fold closure, what I was talking about a minute ago, closed quotient is one indicator. So she's singing in the same range as the first verse, but you can tell the tone is less breathy, and therefore in a live setting with no, in an acoustic setting, a cappella, no amplification, no nothing, you can trust that the singing with a higher closed quotient would be louder to your ear. This is still soft singing though.
Sino nga ba ako sa'yo? Dito sa aking pagkakahimlay, sa dibdib ko ay parang may nakadagang walang kasing lungkot, walang kasing sakit. Gusto ko nang bumitaw.
Bumitaw, I think she just said that.
Gusto ko nang bumitaw.
So key, okay. So up to high C sharp 5, just above tenor high C, and maintaining very pure chest connection. So this is getting into the point in range where you need to have some training, whether formal or not, but you need to strengthen your vocal folds intentionally to be able to maintain a pure chest connection without really straining. Most people, women, female singers who are untrained, if they try to sing this high in chest voice, it will either get very, very yelly, and very likely there will be a lot of extra air blown through, and the vocal folds will be in turbulence, essentially, or they will have to flip up into their head voice for a lighter mechanism. To sing it like Morissette just did requires strength in the vocal folds and being accustomed to singing that high and maintaining that chest voice connection. A nice vibrato too.
Gusto ko nang bumitaw. May pag-asa pa siguro. Kalaban ang sarili. Sino bang dapat pumili? Sino nga ba ako ba o ikaw? Gusto ko nang bumitaw.
Some famous Morissette squeaks that we've come to love, know and love so much. You can tell she's opting for like a really open mouth position and a really forward placement for her on those belts. That's a great position to take. It actually helps based on physics to have a big open mouth when you're around like tenor high C, around there, which she's within a minor third of there. It really helps the sound actually get out and propagate in a way that's not destructive destructive interference is the actual term. I'm not going to get into it. But it actually helps to have a big open mouth if you're remaining in chest voice at that part of your range.
Gusto ko nang bumitaw.
Up to E flat 5. So now we're getting really to the extreme of what people can belt higher. She can belt higher, but it takes a very good experienced belter to be able to belt up to E flat 5 with a pure chest connection reliably.
Kung kalungkutan kong kaligayahan mo, kung pagkakapos ko'y paglaya mo, kung ang sugat sa puso kung siyang lunas dyan sa puso mo, paano na ako?
So, for the most part, very similar until the end there when she did some things differently. But harmonically, melodically, similar to the first verse. But pay attention to how different the vocal color is. So this is a much more efficient sound. This would be a much louder sound if you were listening to her in the studio, like if you were sitting next to her. The vocal folds are coming together much better. It's much more efficient. We also got some drums, which just adds to the whole vibe.
Kung pagkakapos ko'y paglaya mo, kung ang sugat sa puso kung siyang lunas dyan sa puso mo.
Almost went into a growl there. You could hear her getting towards that. You could hear her getting more guttural in it. She didn't actually go into the growl, but she does growl some in some of her other covers and originals. Almost. I want to flag how natural that breath was. It's so nice. Like, if an artist knows how to breathe well when performing, it's nice to see them just in the moment focusing on the text and the song and just like breathing naturally. Like, you finish a word and the entire space before you start singing again is just a nice, big, deep, natural breath. Watch her do that. Oh, because she runs out. She like goes right to the end of how much air she has and then uses the whole break there to just go to like totally reset her system. So nice. She disconnected and used what's called a glottal onset for this pitch here. Let me flag it. So on that B flat, she totally disconnects the sound. Instead of she goes sorry, this is the morning for me. Hope you appreciated that voice crack. She actually disconnects, and then a glottal onset's when the vocal folds come together faster and harder, and it just makes for like kind of a more aggressive attack onto the note. And she uses it for surely artistic reasons on this B flat here. Right there. Again there. Actually gets up for a split second to an F there, an F5, just for a second, doesn't sustain it. And she does actually do a really short growl right before she gets into that belt section. Just on Boom of Bumitaw, she has a little growl. F. Oh, there it is. Okay, sustaining the high F. And you see how efficient that sound is? Like, there's no extra air coming through. There's no breathiness whatsoever. It is pure tone. And you can tell it's fully connected in chest voice. And that's why you know in the studio that shit is way louder than the rest of what she's singing. Up to the F again. And just perfectly in tune. Like I said in the beginning, she's just perfectly in tune all the time. Be natural. So that's a pitch not in... So we're in C sharp major. That's the flat 6, which we have not heard in this song, because flat 6, it's unusual to hear that in a major key. But that's what that little... I'll try to flag it. That's why that sounds cool and different. God. Just so good at belting. F sharp. F sharp 5. In pure chest voice. That, I mean, that is getting extreme. Not many people can belt that high. Not many people can belt that high in pure chest. That is remarkably high. And just the purity of tone is nuts. Very high close quotient. This would be a very present sound if you heard it in person. Shit, man. Look at that perfect natural tongue position. Just letting it rest. No tongue tension at all. Absolutely wonderful. Perfect. Oh god, key change. Maybe a high G coming? Ooh, a flip up into head voice and then a really quick riff down. High A. And then a... So up to, okay, so high E's here in chest voice. High A. Obviously I can't do it well. But listen to that high A she hits, and then don't be distracted. Right after, she does a really quick riff back down a few notes. But really fast. Also goes right back into chest voice, like flip up and then perfectly back. She has got a hold of her registration, let me tell you. F sharp, F sharp. Dude, that is...
Pipiliin ko na sarili
1075.
Bibitaw na
It goes back to the very breathy, yeah, you could, okay, so the fatigue, the vocal fatigue was starting to set in there at the end. You could tell it was getting a little bit more difficult for her to get up to those really high notes, which isn't, I mean, this is a sprint. Belting that high is a sprint. It is not a marathon. You cannot marathon belt like that. You just can't do it. No one can do it. So major power. You can belt for a long time if you mix, or you just sing in your head voice like a reinforced kind of falsetto. But if you're truly chest belting, it is basically a breath supported yell, and you just can only do that for so long. It's like that is like the opera training that we do, is to be able to be loud AF for hours at a time. And it's a very specific kind of training for major vocal strength and endurance. And singing like that is extremely tiring, even if you're used to it, even if you're in great vocal shape, even if you're extremely skilled like Morissette is, still very tiring, especially when sitting down. Standing up, it's much easier to breath support, and you can increase your stamina by default that way. But good Lord, just look at her face here at the end. That exhale, I love it. She's like, oh God. Oh, dude, I'd love the Wish Bus. It's been a while. It's been months since I've done an analysis video for a Wish Bus performance. So if you have any more, please leave them below in the comment section. I do read all the comments. I heart some of them. I respond to a few others. Lately, I've been responding more often to the shitty ones, because I like giving little quips back. Like if someone's freaking out about something, I'm like, oh, are you gonna cry? Or stuff like that, just because I know it's gonna make these people who are, up in arms about some comment I said that they just disagreed with, and they get so mad. And so I'm like, I have to just fan that flame, because it's too easy, and the mean comments don't bother me anymore. They did for a long time, and they don't anymore. So I'm like bulletproof, and I'm just gonna dish it back. So if you want to leave a hate comment, maybe I'll respond with something snarky to you too. But probably not if you're still watching. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Hope you gained appreciation for this world-class talent, Morissette. Always love making analysis videos for her. Any other things you want me to analyze and react to, leave below. And consider joining my Patreon family. Supporting me that way would be a huge help. And also, that is the one way to actually interact with me one-on-one in my Discord server or on Patreon. So if you want to get to know me better on a more personal level, join the Patreon. All right, guys. See you next time. Peace.